In the soft hush of dawn, as golden light spills over the horizon and dances across the African savanna or the lush jungles of Asia, a silhouette moves with a grace that defies its size. Towering, slow, and magnificent, the elephant makes its way through the grasslands. With ears that sway like sails in the wind and a trunk that seems to possess a mind of its own, this creature doesn't just walk the earth, it rules it with quiet dignity. The elephant is not just an animal. It is a living monument to the natural world, a symbol of wisdom, strength, and soul. The phrase, "an elephant never forgets," isn't just folklore. It's a truth etched into science. These beings have brains so vast and complex that they can recall faces, places, even emotions from years ago. A matriarch, the oldest and wisest female of the herd, will remember where the water once flowed during a drought 20 years ago, guiding her family with certainty towards survival. They remember companions, mourn the dead, and show joy upon reunion. This memory is not just mental, it's emotional. Elephants carry their past like a sacred book, never letting go of love, loss, or lessons learned. To understand the heart of an elephant, one must see its family. These aren't loose gatherings of animals, they are close-knit societies, held together by deep emotional bonds and unspoken understanding. The matriarch leads, but every member has a role, from playful calves bringing joy to the group, to aunties who help raise the young, to protective males who linger nearby. When one member suffers, all feel the pain. When a new baby is born, trumpets fill the air in a chorus of celebration. It's a symphony of care and cooperation, something so profoundly human, yet completely wild. Imagine a nose, a hand, a straw, a trumpet, and a communication tool, all rolled into one. That's the trunk of an elephant. With over 40,000 muscles, this appendage is a miracle of evolution. It can pick up a single blade of grass or uproot a small tree. It can deliver a baby elephant its very first breath or gently caress the wrinkled skin of a grandmother. It can express anger, delight, or playfulness with subtle movements. The trunk is more than a tool. It's an extension of the elephant's heart, revealing emotions more vividly than any words could ever manage. Long, curved, and ivory white, the tusks of an elephant are more than just striking features. They are historical archives. These elongated teeth, used for digging, foraging, and defense, grow throughout an elephant's life, recording its years like tree rings. But these very symbols of majesty have also brought sorrow. For centuries, elephants have been hunted for their tusks, victims of a demand that turns beauty into bloodshed. Yet, even in the face of such cruelty, they endure. Their tusks, though often targeted, remain emblems of resilience, silent and strong. Thick, wrinkled, and dust-covered, an elephant's skin looks impenetrable. But beneath that rugged surface lies an incredibly sensitive soul. The skin, though tough, feels the smallest insect crawl or the warmth of a friend's touch. Elephants bathe in mud, not just to cool down, but to protect this delicate surface from sun and bites. And when they walk, every step carries the pulse of the earth, feeling tremors, sensing danger, and staying in touch with the life beneath their feet. These are beings deeply tuned to their environment, both outside and in. Elephants speak in a language that hums below the threshold of human hearing. Low-frequency rumbles travel through the ground for miles, sending messages to distant herds. A mother calls her calf. A matriarch warns of a predator. A lonely bull seeks companionship. Their eyes, ears, and even their posture convey emotions. When they wrap trunks or flap their ears, they're not just moving, they're speaking. It's a language of body and vibration, of deep calls and gentle gestures, richer than any dictionary could contain. Despite their size, elephants are among the most playful animals on Earth. Calves roll in rivers, slide down mudbanks, chase birds, and invent games with sticks and stones. Adults splash one another in waterholes and engage in gentle trunk wrestling. This joy, pure and simple, radiates from them like sunshine. In their laughter and games, we see something timeless, a reminder that life, no matter how heavy it gets, must be touched with lightness. Elephants teach us to smile in the wildest of storms. When an elephant dies, the forest holds its breath. Herd members will stand vigil, touching the fallen with their trunks, making low, mournful rumbles. They may return to the place of death for years, touching the bones gently, almost reverently. There are tales of elephants grieving for companions lost long ago, their sorrow etched into their gaze. These aren't just behaviors, they're emotions. Grief, love, longing. These things we claim as human are painted all over the lives of elephants. In their silence, elephants hold power. They shape ecosystems. By knocking down trees, they open paths for new growth. By digging waterholes, they quench the thirst of dozens of species. Their droppings plant seeds, and their movements keep the wilds in balance. They are gardeners, architects, and protectors of their domains. Without elephants, landscapes crumble, diversity fades, and life itself becomes smaller. They are not just residents of nature, they are its fierce guardians. To look into an elephant's eyes is to gaze into a well of ancient wisdom. These animals carry the essence of time within them. Each wrinkle, each scar, each gentle sway of their massive heads speaks of years lived in connection with the earth. Scientists have discovered that elephants are capable of reasoning, planning, and even problem-solving at a level rivaling great apes and dolphins. They've been seen working together to move heavy objects, using tools, and even recognizing themselves in mirrors, a test of self-awareness passed by only a few animals on this planet. This intelligence is not cold and mechanical. It's spiritual. Elephants think, feel, reflect, and perhaps even dream. Across cultures, continents, and centuries, the elephant has stood as a sacred symbol of power, patience, and prosperity. In Hinduism, the elephant-headed god Ganesha is the remover of obstacles and bringer of good fortune. In Buddhist traditions, a white elephant represents purity and wisdom. In Africa, elephants are seen as ancestral spirits, guiding the tribe through unseen realms. Carvings of elephants adorn temples, coins, and flags. They are protectors, kings, and deities in myth and memory. The reverence they command is not just for their form, but for the mystery they embody, the deep connection between the animal world and the divine. But for all their majesty and myth, elephants walk a dangerous path in today's world. Poaching, habitat loss, and human-elephant conflict have pushed their numbers into alarming decline. Forests that once echoed with their calls now stand silent. Plains that once trembled under their mighty feet now host their ghosts. Elephants are being killed not for food, not for survival, but for their ivory, a cruel trade that carves death from beauty. Every tusk stolen is a family shattered, a future erased. The elephant is in crisis, and with it, the soul of the wild is crying out. In places where elephants still roam freely, something magical happens. The land breathes easier, the rivers run clearer, trees grow stronger, and animals flourish in their shadow. Elephants are keystone species. Remove them, and the whole ecosystem begins to crumble. But when they thrive, life explodes in vibrant harmony. Their footsteps mark trails for antelopes, their leftovers feed the insects and birds, their presence keeps balance in predator and prey. They are the silent orchestra conductors of the wilderness, bringing order to chaos, rhythm to life, music to the soul of the wild. Strangely and beautifully, the story of elephants is also the story of us. For millennia, humans and elephants have walked side by side, sometimes as allies, sometimes in tragic opposition. In Asia, elephants have worked with humans for generations, building temples, carrying kings, and even rescuing people from floods. Some cultures treat them like family, feeding and dressing them in festivals. Yet the line between companionship and captivity is thin. Many elephants suffer in chains, used for rides and spectacles. The challenge now is not whether humans and elephants can coexist. It's whether we can do so with dignity, respect, and love. Around the globe, heroes are rising to protect these majestic beings. From rangers patrolling vast parks to conservationists tracking herds via satellite, a new generation is fighting to rewrite the elephant's story. Sanctuaries are being created, ivory bans are being enforced, and education is spreading. But the battle is uphill. Climate change dries rivers, cities eat forests, conflict brews where elephants roam into human farms. The fight is not just for survival, it's for coexistence. A future where children can still see an elephant not in a book, but in the wild, walking free beneath the sun. In sanctuaries where elephants are safe, incredible things emerge. Some elephants have learned to paint with their trunks, creating abstract works of art that are sold to support their care. Others seem to sway to music, responding to melodies with movements that mirror rhythm and tone. Is this imitation or a genuine appreciation of beauty? Nobody truly knows. But one thing is clear: elephants have a rich inner life, full of curiosity, creativity, and expression. Their art is not just a trick, it's a whisper of the untold stories that live inside their minds. Few things in nature are as powerful as an elephant mother's love. She carries her baby for nearly 2 years, a longer gestation than any other land animal. When the calf is born, the entire herd gathers around, trumpeting in joy, shielding the newborn from harm. The mother barely sleeps, touching her calf constantly, guiding it gently with her trunk, teaching it how to walk, eat, drink, and live. If the baby cries, the herd comes running. If it stumbles, they lift it. And even as the calf grows older, the bond remains. A sacred tether of touch, trust, and tenderness. Just as they remember loss, elephants remember love. There are stories, astonishing and true, of elephants returning years later to greet the humans who once helped them. An injured elephant, once treated by a wildlife vet, may gently reach out its trunk in recognition, even after decades. In Thailand, an elephant rescued from logging was filmed crying upon reunion with its caretaker after many years. Their eyes glisten with something unspoken. Gratitude, perhaps, or something deeper. They do not forget pain, but neither do they forget compassion. That is their secret superpower, the ability to forgive and feel. A herd of elephants walking across the plains is not just a movement, it is a moment. The ground vibrates, dust rises, the sun glints off their backs as they move in harmony. There is power in that scene, raw ancient power, but there is also peace. They do not conquer, they do not boast. They walk in silence, in unity, in love. Watching them is like watching time itself walk by. Every breath they take reminds us of something we've forgotten, that strength lies in gentleness and that greatness does not roar, it simply walks with grace. Elephants do not write books, they do not build monuments, but they teach. They teach us to care, to remember, to live with purpose. In their families, we learn unity. In their eyes, we see empathy. In their pain, we understand the urgency of protection. In their presence, we find humility. These are not just animals, they are mirrors. They show us what we can be if we choose to walk with kindness, to live with meaning, to exist in balance with the earth. Their story is ancient, but it still speaks. And if we listen, really listen, it just might save us. The fate of elephants is no longer in the hands of nature, it's in ours. Will we protect the forests? Will we end the ivory trade? Will we build a world where both elephants and humans can thrive together? These are not easy questions, but they are urgent, because every day we lose more of them. And with every elephant that falls, a part of the earth dies with it. But hope is not lost. The tides are turning, voices are rising, and in those who care, in you, in me, in all of us, the spirit of the elephant finds new guardians. So let us walk with them. Let us not just admire them from afar, but stand beside them in spirit. Let our hearts echo their calls, and our hands build a world that welcomes their footsteps. Let the forests ring once more with trumpets of joy, and let the next generation grow up not reading about elephants in history books, but seeing them in the wild, majestic, and free. For the elephant is not just an animal, it is a reminder of what the earth once was, and what, with love, it can be again.